Welcome, everyone. This is our last talk of the day about QWorld's experiences and brainstorming about quantum in Latin America. Let's welcome Abuser Yakarilmas, who is the chairperson at QWorld and a researcher at the Center of Quantum Computer Science at the University of Latvia. He is known for his research on quantum automata and complexity theory. Since 2018, he has been actively working towards building a global and open quantum ecosystem. Welcome, Abu, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation. I am very happy to be here. Like even I am away, so I feel already I am in Latin America. My talk will be informal, and I already prepared one Google Doc because after some introduction, I will just ask some questions and maybe we can brainstorm it together, and I will try to put some notes here. So then, just feel free at that time to share your opinions. I will mention maybe mostly historical part, what I did until now, and also what we have done under QWorld. It can be seen also kind of inspiration. So this will be what I shared now, will be the last part. So as Claudia introduced, I am actively involved with QWorld. Here is the website. QWorld is a non-profit organization. We are operating globally. Maybe you already attend some of our events. Currently, I think our numbers almost 200 events, and number of diplomas also like almost 10,000 diplomas. I believe some of you seen. If not, there would be some opportunities. I will come back to this website again and again. As Claudia said, I am also a researcher. Originally, I am a researcher. Here is my publication list. I just share it. I am a theoretical computer scientist. So it can be seen like applied mathematics in the computing. You can see like this. We are not, we don't need to do deep math, but we can use and learn. And sometimes we are also doing it. But of course, we are using math and just theoretically check, for example, limitations of computing. Comparing computational models, etc. My research, of course, I did master and PhD, and there are automata models. I don't know if some of you are in computer science or not. In most of standard curriculum, computer science curriculum, there is a lecture usually like introduction to theory of computation, and it starts always with automata theory, like simplest computational model. Of course, when there is quantum computing, there is also quantum automata. So I started my research in this way. I completed, I think it's 2007, so it's kind of 16 years now when I started. I finished my PhD 2011. Then I also continued with almost the same line. And especially, I focused on complexity theory, like application of complexity, concepts, to do like quantum automata. Of course, when you work with quantum automata, you should also check the classical one because we are comparing them, and its classical form is probabilistic automata. And indeed, based on this experience, nowadays we have some, I will also mention later, some introductory quantum computing tutorials. And all this experience also, we, for example, started these tutorials from mathematical point of view, and we first teaching these probabilistic systems and then continue building everything on the quantum system. So I was a researcher. I was a theoretical researcher. I was no interest almost like I did some programming like 16 years ago when I started my master. I was still doing some programming, but later, maybe almost no programming. when my computer is broken, I also just go like all other people to ask some technician. So I was really away from all, say, all possible practical things. But of course, things change. Now we have a QWorld, and we are even argue that we are teaching like programming quantum computers. But before that, I maybe mentioned my already interest about outreach. Before starting QWorld, you see now there is a advertisement prepared by myself. I had the interest, or I have interest still. Also reaching like more generic audience. For example, here my aim was to reach the high school students. Also, it was related to my topic. I just make the introduction to foundation of computing using the automata theory. So this was my public lectures. It was like really every Friday, 6 o'clock. It's good time to go rest, or I don't know, go for some bar. But I was just staying and just giving these lectures. These are kind of my first attempts to, like, I already had some ideas, and this is one of the example, I would say. In parallel, here you see another announcement. There was a let's say, a techno-activist group, Riga Tech Girls, and I designed kind of one-day workshop. Maybe you know this game of life, and you can create this game with JavaScript. I first like did by myself, and then I noticed that it's like overall process is very good. Like when we are creating this, it's kind of challenging some parts. And then, yeah, I also did a workshop with Riga Tech Girls. Also, I learned a lot from them, like how to make workshop, like for example, giving certificate, etc. And this will be also later based on our experience with this Riga Tech Girls. We kind of project to our own workshops. Okay, this was already my attempts, let's say, to do some outreach activities. I also repeat this public lecture maybe once or twice, I don't remember now. This JavaScript workshop, it was taking around 6 hours. I think I maybe 4 times, I don't know exactly. And this QIP, Quantum Information Processing workshop, this is like one of the central activity. It was at least. Still, I think it's one of the central, but also now there are several others. I mean, because now the field is like very attractive, and there are also several other big conferences. At that time, QIP was like the main one, and each year we try to go there. And most of quantum computer scientists are still, or information scientists still are going there. This 2018 was especially important because usually there were a lot of theoretical talks and even some experiment, but still like this quantum computers weren't available, etc. But in 2018, we noticed that there are already several companies. We like start to hear that, okay, this very well-known researcher transferred to this company, etc. So we noticed that something is happening. I mean, this IBM's quantum computers already available 2 years ago. But from scientific world, we noticed that already some transfers started. There are more like company appears in the conference hall, etc. We already started with our group. I was in Latvia that time. Start to talk, okay, something is changing, and maybe we can also join it somehow. So this was one milestone, let's say. And next autumn, I started to parallel things. I had one seminar. I mean, I was already thinking about like in seminar where you can teach several other things. So I just created 2 seminars. One seminar was like about quantum software, and one seminar more about the technologies. like AI safety, etc. And my main intention indeed going to that direction, because I was a quantum computer scientist. I also see that, okay, I can give something about quantum software, but my main intention is mostly focusing on that direction. And when during this seminar for the quantum one, I discovered Jupyter notebooks. I mean, nowadays it's very common. When I see the Jupyter notebooks, like kind of I was enlightened, because it was perfect tool for teaching. I mean, I already, you understand, I had some intention already teaching like general audience. Then I noticed that if we use Jupyter notebooks, you can have this hands-on experience, etc. Then my focus slowly just converged to this quantum part. And again, with Riga Girls, without any ready material, I said to them, okay, we can have a workshop again. This time, let's teach quantum computing on a weekend. They also welcomed, thanks to them. And in a month or maybe shorter, I don't remember, I just prepared the first version of Bronze. I mean, compared to now, maybe it has like half content, even maybe less. So it really improved dramatically. But anyway, based on my previous experience, again with Riga Tech Girls, how to do these workshops, etc., we just organize a workshop. You see here, it was November, and I would say it was successful. Okay, maybe I can share little photos, etc. So at the end, this was memorial diploma issued by Riga Tech Girls. 14 girls and one boy just finished. And then, okay, next step. After Riga Tech Girls, I immediately proceed further, and then with high school students. Here you see this time 12 high school students. It is the same laboratory at my faculty. So also everything started on site. Now we are doing a lot of online, but that time we especially focusing on site, like going and touching people. We had this diploma ceremony. It was very nice. We also giving like small candy to each person, etc. Anyway, it started in this way. After this two successful workshop, I told you I start also with two parallel seminar, and then my mind just focus on one, and then I said maybe we can do an international project. And then this was around December. I think I told my, let's say, team at that time, maybe around mid-December something. And then basically I designed this QDrive project. So now we had a material, because I noticed that first you should have a tutorial. It's not like somewhere PDF, somewhere notebooks, etc. We have like single tutorial. They are sitting on this tutorial, and then until the end, they are working with this tutorial. And also tutorial had a lot of tasks. So it's giving little theory. Also in the, let's say, whiteboard, we are seeing a few things, and then they are solving tasks. There are also mentors from that time, and they are answering the questions. So this model was working very nice. Some people was happy just practicing Python. Some people just like the atmosphere, like, because in today's everybody is like try to do something. People are talking with neighbors, etc. I mean, it wasn't only about learning quantum or quantum programming. We were using also Qiskit. I mean, overall atmosphere was, because I was observing, and I was also very satisfied with this. And QDrive, it was a driving by car project. Here you see, this is our announcement. Like quantum programming workshop traveling to your cities, and indeed we fly to Turkey, except that the rest we start from Latvia, and then we just make first cycle come to Poland and Czech, come back, and then we make long cycle. We went until to Balkans and then come back. So here you see we visit 8 cities, in total 11 workshops, and we hand out more than 200 diplomas. Almost 80 days traveling, and with car we did more than 10,000 kilometers. Maybe I can also share some photos from that time. But this, I really miss also this on-site events, to be honest. Now we are reaching a lot of people at once with online, but this atmosphere was very, very different. At that time, people ask us, maybe you can put lectures online, etc. We even say, no, this is like on-site experience. I mean, everybody should feel it like in the same classroom, etc. We were quite strict even. If there wouldn't be COVID, probably we would still push this on-site events. Okay, so we visit 8 cities, maybe it was also 8 countries, I don't know. In Warsaw, we visit 2 places. No, 8 countries, 11 workshops in total. And during all this QDrive also, I mean, I was developing some ideas. For example, this Q cousins, there can be maybe local groups, and then they can work together, etc. So also QWorld start to, I don't remember exactly when, which ideas happened, etc. But anyway, before traveling, after traveling, during traveling, always some ideas appeared. At the end, we attract, I mean, we were Q Latvia, Q Turkey joined, and then there were Q Balkan, Q Hungary, and Q Poland. Then we decided, okay, let's continue all together. Then QWorld started. And QWorld started with 5 departments at the beginning, even maybe it was 6. Now you see that there is Q Research, Q Education, Q Cousins. We also had Q Women and Q Junior, like for, let's say, inclusive, being inclusive, also focusing on the high school students. Over the time, let's say this Q Women and Q Junior didn't go as we expected. But anyway, so these other departments like still exist, and they are still active. We started 2019, and indeed when we started, there were around maybe only IBM. There weren't too much, let's say, big actors. I mean, doing this outreach globally or like in a wide sense. There were some universities doing some, of course, workshops for high school students or lectures for, I don't know, bachelor students, etc. But mostly they were local. I mean, even first Kiskit camp, like first Kiskit hackathon, I think we even started before that. So we were like one of the first globally thinking, let's say, organization. And what were our strategies? This bronze was, I mean, overall, this idea, you should have a tutorial, complete tutorial. It should be fully hands-on, and it should also go slowly, not like suddenly giving a lot of concepts and then students like shocked, etc. And we, of course, think that we can develop more, but developing material, I don't know, have you ever tried? It's always taking time. Nowadays, we have this Q nickel, Q silver, like continuation of bronze. We have now 3 sets covering like all topics on a standard introductory quantum computing course. And also we have now some, we are using them like, again, like workshop materials or self-study modules. We have quantum key distribution, quantum error correction, quantum annealing, and also I think one is on topological quantum computing. We expected to make it faster, but yeah, naturally, also QWorld like working mostly, almost maybe volunteer based. So people doing this with like they're in extra time. Claudia is also one of very active member. She also did great job and she's still doing. So with limited time, of course, we did in this way. And our one of strategy was we should develop open access materials, and these materials also should be used like as a workshop. Later, we are using them as a course. And I think in that sense, our tutorials and then the workshop on them are still kind of unique compared to others. There is, of course, this complete Qiskit book. It's prepared by several researchers and people. But this our level, like going slowly, and there are a lot of tasks, etc. I think in this sense, we are still unique, I would say. This was one of the strategy. Second strategy, we say that, okay, there can be local groups formed. And usually we have doing this with an entangling event, like we are organizing a workshop together at the beginning. It has been always QBronze workshop. I think we didn't do anything else. Also, this team see that this local team see this experience, and then we expect these locals organize like some of our other events. Maybe I can. Yeah, now we have almost 32 cousins. I can make it slow. For example, in Europe, you see the list, Asia. In Africa, we are growing quite good, thanks to also our local cousins there. North America and South America, yeah, we have one. I hope, because in South America, there are a lot of countries, maybe more can join or inspired, and anyway. So, forming local groups was another strategy. More or less, it has worked, let's say. Not all of cousins like so active, but we also have some cousins they are like very active. I mean, for example, we have Q Turkey. At the beginning, they like organizing workshop like every 1 month. Similar to our Q Drive, like doing intensively. They did it like every month. At that, they had a lot of volunteers because when there's action, there are also people. Among the latest one, Q Iran joined like one of the latest, and they are also very active. They are also all the time trying to do some workshops. I mean, they are also kind of doing several events. Now, United Arab Emirates joined that group also, for example, looks very, very active. Also, there are some cousins, because we expect them at least organize one workshop or 2 workshops per year, and they are just doing in this way. We expect them to be more active, but also, as I said, everything is volunteer-based, so it's not easy at that time. Okay, this was another strategy. One summer, we just decided to make internship. One of our volunteers said that I am free this summer. Maybe we can do something. And then we said, okay, let's do an internship program. Like in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, very quickly, the first version edition happened. And people were happy. I mean, there were mentors, they offer projects, and then there were students. And later, each year, it's getting more and more interesting. In last edition, I think we had 600 students applied, and only, I think, 120 or 150 selected, because number of projects was 20. We cannot accept, and I see that some of projects now publish papers. I mean, some researchers access like extra resource, because each intern also means a extra resource for you. If you are in your university, then you just access the students there. But if you bring your project to a QIntern, then you can access like widely students. Okay, I think it's also 30 minutes. Maybe it's enough. I can maybe get a few questions and then we can start brainstorming maybe. Is there any question? Hello?
Hello, does anybody has any question about QWorld or maybe what we can do about quantum in Latin America? Maybe some of you are interested in becoming a Q-cousin that is going to be a partner in your local country.
So if you have interest for QCousin, just go QCousins, click here, and here, like there's a guideline. Read this guideline. Most, I think, all information almost is there. Then yeah, you can decide. Okay.
Okay, somebody is asking maybe something brief about the requirements and benefits of becoming a Q-cousin.
I mean, requirements. I mean, this team should be active. We expect maybe at least one academician connection with university. I think at least 3 people or something. If you check this outline, it's also changing time to time. Advantage is like we have some training programs time to time, so we can get trained. Also, we do this first workshop together. We get also, let's say, some kind of knowledge transfer. And also, like we are part of QWorld, it's like for some people it's motivation, and they are already because we already have our workshops, so you can kind of formally organize these workshops, and then certificate will be like prepared by QWorld with your logo, QWorld logo. So we also provide this graphic support, etc. So something like this. There is no money. I mean, it's volunteer based. But I mean, they can use the Zoom accounts, etc. We have Canvas server now because these workshops have homeworks to give the certificate. Let's say if they organize by themselves, maybe they can do more. Now they use kind of QWorld resources and also experience.
Awesome. Somebody else is asking about the future opportunities for Q research.
Q research is currently focused on the QIntern. As I said, some of this usually, I mean, interns are happy. In many cases, people don't have any access to any, like, let's say, they are in some small city somewhere in the world. I mean, they don't have any chance to work with any scientist. And with this QIntern, of course, it's online event. So you form a team, you meet with some mentors time to time, and you are working. Sometimes you publish papers together. So it's by itself a great opportunity. We had some ideas like research projects maybe continue later. We tried also, I think even almost 10 projects worked under Q Research. I was also co-lead one of them. We also had 1 or 2 papers from there. But anyway, it required more and more. So with our available resource currently, internship is only alive, let's say.
Okay, I think somebody already throw an idea about the brainstorming. It's
Okay,
mentioning that consider that this school in Spanish is a fantastic start to strengthen the Latin community. The American version for high schools in another idea different, I think, is American version for high schools in
of
qubit by
qubit
qubit.
like it. Yeah, it can be. We also have Q class now. Vlade is also one of the coordinators. I also suggest to check our Q class. I mean, we are using open source tutorials. All our, I mean, material is available. Even it might be easier. I don't know how much material available by qubit. But I also suggest Q class. But overall, this idea, it's good. If we say quantum in Latin America, what we have? Maybe this can be the first question from my side.
So, what other ideas do you have, fellow Latin
What
Americans?
exists in currently when we say quantum in Latin America? What we have, like best universities on this. If you want to do PhD, is there a place? There are some companies, startups. Some, let's say, this is organization like us. Okay, first there is a potential, yeah. Let's say potential. Only potential, nothing more. Quantum Latino, I think it's also a successful event. I think Quereca is one of the organizers. Can you give a few examples, like the best quantum QP as the community? Okay, we can also maybe add Q Mexico, Q Colombia. More than 2,000 members, 40 members doing quantum projects. That's great. Quantum QP. What else? For example, where is the best place to make master and PhD? I was in LNCC in Petropolis. There was Renato. I mean, he's quite good in quantum walls. I think also São Paulo is good. There was Campinas, I remember from Brazil side. Oh. I think in Argentina also there are a couple of good universities. Startup, okay, that's good. Quantum South and Devs. Uruguay and Chile, okay. And let's say what is missing. So for you, like the most important, there was a conference. You can also maybe copy paste this. Formalism in education about quantum computation. I mean, to do something first, maybe you can detect what is missing or what should be there. Uh, like most of curriculum doesn't have quantum computing courses. Scholarships, in-person events. Do you think startups are enough? I think two is not enough. Yeah, such huge continent. The distance between academia and industry. This is, yeah, yes, good. What else? Okay. And government. I mean, yeah, governments is another story, I think, in Latin America. I mean, safety in some countries are still issues. I love to be in Brazil, but for example, security was always a big question mark. A career in quantum computing. Ah, that's very good example, I think. Indeed, our local group Turkey also needs to fight with this because people use quantum in any context and then just try to get some money from it. Especially if you have a big country, there is more chance to see it. Okay, what can be done first? Let's think, what can be done? I can write this also. So I think there is no problem about people. You already mentioned about like there is a huge potential. I mean, Brazil is alone like 200 million people, so definitely. I mean, I'm not saying educated people, but as a population, it's already crowded. Okay, now we said what are missing and what can be done first. What should be done, maybe not can. Should be done first. Education is the first. This is like, I mean, our strongest part also was education under QWorld, outreach, education. And I always use like showing to door people. It's, I mean, people wants to join, something is happening, and you should just help them on showing this door, like how to open it. So education is can see it like a key opening a door. Uh, Only education. Okay, Adrian also mentioned about some courses. The idea is these workshops also, like we were traveling, I said, because we knew that many universities doesn't have such courses. At least students can get this introduction. Also, for example, we didn't start like usually people start with like 1 hour seminar, 2 hour seminar. Also, I was against this. My idea was that time we should go and really give enough time to these people, just really feel it. It's not like just seeing some seminar, etc. This is I especially push this 2 days, 3 days workshops. I think everybody say education. And next question is how then? How we can do this? Maybe we think concrete steps here. So, organizing workshops. Organizing QWorld workshops. And how we can organize, for example, QWorld workshop? What should we do for this? I think language is a big issue in. It's not a like problem issue. Like I mean, English is not that let's say common. If I mean, if I don't know if you would agree, but you should have some textbook tutorials in Portuguese and also in Spanish, I guess. So, I mean, QWorld model can be a example model, but of course you can also apply it differently. We went with group-based. For example, this KISS strategy is individual-based, like this. You are becoming an advocate, and I think it's also very successful. I mean, if I start again today, I don't know, maybe going individual also can be a good alternative because group is strong. Like the idea is also having a strong group, maybe sustainability, they can stay longer because individuals just appear and then disappear, etc. But establishing it, like it's also little costly. This is why we don't have several cousins immediately. The advantage of individual probably it's more practical. Okay, there are university, a meeting between director QWorld, start planning the course. Okay, these are big issue. Maybe we can also think I mean, bringing course to university is kind of last step. Even in our history, we start with workshops and these courses, for example, this Q class appeared after 4 years, 5 years. So it takes still some time, some series attempts, let's say. I mean, if you want to use materials, I said we have 3 sets, bronze, nickel, and silver. I think even there were some translation projects already. So maybe first step, translating notebooks in Spanish, Portuguese. Okay. Setting up communication channels. What channels do you have now? For example, this QP, I don't know how to, sorry. If there are 2,000 members, I believe there is already some Discord channel or something. I mean, the capacity of QWorld is limited. This is, for example, why we are trying to build local groups, and we expect them, these local groups maybe do that. For example, now I am busy with teaching this Q class, and for me it's not possible like doing regular. This Q drive was very special. Maybe it's a once a life project, because you are really giving 3 months, maybe 3 months preparation, in total 6 months, but you cannot give this always. I think building community, maybe we can even make communities. What do you think? How many Qiskit advocates is here? I think there are several. Maybe similar model can also be considered. What do you think? I might miss some messages. I think there were a lot of appear. Bringing quantum market to each country. This I think middle term goals maybe. So thesis opportunities for degree students. For example, we had in under QWorld we have training programs. We did 7 times, I guess, something now. Because we noticed that for QBrons we need mentors, we need instructors, and we just decided, okay, maybe we can make a online 2-3 weeks, maybe 1-2 weeks training event. And it partially worked. Some people really joined our team, and then these people also trained the others. So in this way, maybe individually I can ask what you can do individually. Maybe not individually, sorry. What can you do as an individual? You can still do it as a group. What can you offer maybe? Or I'm also not the best in English. Now think yourself what you can do, how you can contribute. You can work as a group as well. Sharing information. What is Quantum Maker Lab? Teaching others, small labs. Maybe the small labs to teach basic principles. You mean kind of workshop this with small lab, small conferences. Microwaves, emitters. Okay. But if you think feasibly, for example, you really write here and then also you can do it in next 6 months or in the next 12 months. Also, learning is an activity. Yeah, maybe you can also write it. If you have basics, maybe you can learn more. This is also like simulation of nanomaterials. Like I will say, doing research. I told you in Q intern. I mean, you are at university. Of course, you should give. I mean, you should give more time. But for mentors, it's also beneficial because you access some, let's say, human resource easily. Also, I told you at your university, maybe you have just 1, 2 students, but with Q intern, you can access more. So it's beneficial for both. It's not only about giving or also taking. If and I believe there are several very good students in some cities. There is no quantum computing course. Short videos, making start a YouTube channel. Let's say setting up or okay. Convince professors, let's say. Yeah, well, why not? Maybe you can convince some professors. Different level teaching. So as I understand, this quantum QP is very active. Do you think it can spread all Latin America, for example? That's also very nice, creating games to educating quantum computing. In-person events also important. Yeah, I told you this atmosphere in-person events, its efficiency. But in case of online, you are also accessing like huge amount of people. You cannot do Q class. I mean, if you do Q class locally, how many people there will be, and you just accept 2,000. We had application 2,000 people, so not all of them joined, but still. Okay, I think I have only 2 minutes. I mean, we don't need to have a complete list. I mean, with my presentation, my idea is my personal experience, why I, for example, converge to idea like QWorld. I already had some. If you notice, I start very slowly. My public lecture was theoretical. This game of life was enjoyable. Basically, we are just using JavaScript, and it's like elementary level programming. It's not like advanced, etc. And Jupyter Notebooks was like very useful tool for me at that time. And then, for example, I told you this, for me it was very important. I didn't think like 1 hour, 2 hour seminars. While we are doing these workshops, people usually giving some seminars somewhere. But I told my idea was really going and touching at that time. So this was the like personal experience, overall QWorld experience, and you can do brainstorming with different questions. I noticed there are already some communities. There are already this event bringing a lot of people together. Maybe they are also in some Discord or somewhere. So you can also do your own brainstorming. Also, action is good. With action, you will see your capacities, how hard such things, etc. So instead of thinking, also do some actions. Probably it will not go as you expected. You will fail at the beginning, like full of ideas, but action, 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 plus, plus, then you understand and it becomes like more feasible. Okay, I can do this. I cannot do this now. This is also action is important. You should take some actions, test yourself, okay, and learning from this each test, each failure, etc. Then you will proceed. So if there is such a big event, you are not like at the 0 point. I think I see that almost 200 people are here. There is QWorld. There is a lot of resources shared by Qiskit. Qiskit Advocate, as I said, also it's a great program. This Fall Fest, it's a very clever idea. Because under with QWorld, we also try to do such big activities. Okay, I think I couldn't stop myself. Maybe I should stop here. Thanks. But continue this brainstorming with among yourself. This is just an example. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Abu, for your talk, your ideas, and sharing with us your experiences also.
Thank you. Yeah, very happy also to be kind of in Latin America.
Thank you very much. En breve se compartirá el código. Estén atentos al chat.